To the woman I used to be, I remember you. More than people realize, I remember you. The exhausted version, the anxious version, the version who overthought everything at night and smiled through the day. The version who constantly worried about losing people, about disappointing people, about not being enough. You looked strong on the outside, responsible, capable, calm, but inside you were emotionally exhausted, not because life was always dramatic, but because you carried invisible emotional weight every single day. You carried other people's moods, other people's expectations, other people's pain. And somewhere along the way, you abandoned yourself, trying to keep everyone else comfortable. I know why you did it. You thought love had to be earned. You thought if you were kind enough, patient enough, helpful enough, understanding enough, people would finally choose you fully. But what nobody told you was this: the people who require you to abandon yourself to keep their love were never emotionally safe for you to begin with. And still, you kept trying. You tolerated things that hurt your spirit. You stayed quiet when your intuition was screaming. You stayed longer than you should have, loved harder than you should have, forgave faster than you should have. Not because you were weak, but because deep down you were terrified of being alone. And honestly, I wish I could go back and hold that version of you, because she was trying so hard to be lovable, so hard to be needed, so hard to make life work. And nobody noticed how tired she really was. You know what hurts me most now? Not the heartbreak, not the failed relationships, not even the loneliness. What hurts me most is realizing how little compassion you had for yourself. You forgave everyone else, understood everyone else, protected everyone else, but yourself, you spoke to yourself harshly, blamed yourself constantly, questioned your worth endlessly, and still you kept going. That woman deserved softness too. She deserves rest. She deserves emotional safety. She deserves to be chosen without having to suffer for it. But nobody taught her that. So she kept surviving instead of living. She kept proving instead of receiving. She kept shrinking herself to fit inside spaces that were never meant for her soul. And yet, look at her now. Look at you now. You survived things you once thought would destroy you. You survived heartbreak, disappointment, loneliness, betrayal, fear, emotional exhaustion, and the quiet grief of becoming someone life never warned you about. But somewhere inside all that pain, you woke up, slowly, quietly. You started realizing that peace matters more than approval, that boundaries matter more than being liked, that loneliness is less painful than constantly abandoning yourself. And maybe the biggest transformation of all is that you no longer beg to be loved properly. Because now you understand, real love does not require self-destruction. To the woman I used to be, I need you to hear this clearly. You were never too much. You were never hard to love. You were never weak for feeling deeply. You were simply a woman trying to survive emotionally in a world that often rewards numbness. And honestly, I am proud of you. Proud of the way you kept going. Proud of the way you carried pain without becoming cruel. Proud that despite everything, you still remained soft. Do you know how rare that is? Many people become cold after pain, but you didn't. You became wiser, calmer, more careful with your energy. But your heart still knows how to love. That is strength, real strength. So today, I don't want to judge the old version of me anymore. I don't want to feel embarrassed of her. I don't want to resent her choices. Because she was doing the best she could with the emotional tools she had at the time. And honestly, without her pain, I would never have become this version of myself. The woman who finally understood. Peace is valuable. Self-respect is valuable. Rest is valuable. And love should never cost you identity. So to the woman I used to be, thank you. Thank you for surviving long enough for me to become who I am now. You carried the pain, so I could finally learn how to heal.